You will need some tools to cut and bend and maneuver the wire. You'll need some beads, some pretty beads, one big one for the head of the angel and some corresponding colors in smaller sizes for the body of the angel. Some ribbon. I'm going to be using this one. It has sparkly gold patterns on it, but you need wire in the rim of the ribbon to allow you to maneuver it and make the shape of wings. And then you'll need some actual wire for the majority of this project. In this case I'm using 22 gauge and it's in a silver color. You can use any kind of color that you want, it's up to you. But in this case I'm going with a gold and silver type theme, so let's get started. First we need to cut our wire. In this case I'm going to take 12 inches, it is the exact length of my ruler of wire. It's always better to have a little bit more than not enough, especially if it's your first time making it. So I'm actually going to go with the full 12. So I'm just going to cut it right here. So now we have our wire. So next we are going to string our beads onto the wire. We will not need the big bead yet, just the small ones. So figure out a pattern that you would want to use on your wire. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now, is figure out a pattern that I would want to use. Here's the layout of beads that I've chose to use on this angel. So we're going to string them through the wire now. Make sure that the beads don't come through on the other end. In this case, these end beads that I'm using are pretty tight. So after I get all these beads put on here, I will be right back. Here's my strand of beads. This is the actual body of the angel. You don't want the length of where the beads are to be any more than maybe 3 to 3.5 inches. It all kind of depends on how big the head of your angel is and how big that you want the overall finished piece to be. But in this case, we don't want a very large ornament. We don't want it to be like a huge focal point. We just want it to be a nice addition to our tree. So the actual size of it should be about this big for the body. So you really don't want it too big, just a nice addition to your tree. Actually, you could use this as a tree topper as well. But so next step, we are going to twist this part together so it'll bring the body together. You can put another bead here, but I don't see much of a need of doing it since the actual head and stuff is going to be another bead. So we're just going to twist this part together so it is nice and tight. And you want the bead parts to be as close as you can possibly get them. And then twist it a couple times. So there is the body. So now we're going to take our ribbon. And in this case, mine isn't even open. And for this particular angel, I'm going to need about that much ribbon. So this ribbon is about 5 inches, but I'm probably going to trim it after I put it on. So here's my ribbon. So we're going to bunch this up in the center as if we were making a bow. If you've ever seen the online bow tutorials, you bunch it in the center. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now you could use some hot glue to hold this in, but I don't see much use in doing it if we're going to be adding it onto our angel in the first place. So I'm just going back and forth and back and forth. And when you make a bow, normally you would put hot glue in the center here. Like I said, we are not doing that. So now we are going to put this in the middle of our angel where the wires are. And we are going to twist this together as if we were closing bread, or like what we just did before. You want it pretty close together, so you can always twist both parts here. You can take some pliers so it is nice and tight. And now we are going to fold this piece down so it's going to bring our wings more flush, and then we're going to wrap the bit around. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm just pulling it through. Make sure that you're pushing the piece down. You don't want it to really cover your beads. Yet again, having pliers would help a lot because it helps you pull tighter. And see how it makes like that fanned wing? So just make sure it's pulled nice and tight. And you can go around this a couple times if you want to like hold it in place. So I'm actually going to do that one more time to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Now we are going to add the head bead on. So we're going to put our main bead in the front, so wherever that you want the front to be, that's where you're going to put your bead through. So my plan is to make this my front. And all angels have halos, so that's the reason why we put the one wire in the back. So now I'm going to twist these two together like we did before. And then to make our halo, the distance that I want is about here. So I'm going to bend it there. And then just loop around with my fingers. A nice halo loop. And everything is adjustable. Nothing has to be permanent right this second. Here's our finished angel. I think that these are just so pretty and they're so customizable for any color scheme that you would ever need them for. But that is it. There will be more 12 Days of Christmas videos. I hope you guys have a great, happy holiday. Make sure that you tag me on Twitter, Instagram, any kind of social networking. If you guys happen to make your own, I would love to see. And I will see you guys later. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Whoosh.